My name is Rachael Lindsay, and this is my troll friend Finra, and his little bird, a nightingale, Lucinia. And this is their story, Stolen Secrets. It was with some concern, but also a degree of excitement one day, that Finra found a lost egg. There was no evidence of the nest from which it had come. The parents were not calling for it. They were nowhere to be seen. Luckily, it was still perfect, smooth, glossy and olive brown, and still warm. Finra picked it up from the moss which had cushioned it, turned it over tenderly in his knobbly fingers, and then popped it under his hat. It made him smile, an egg on an egg head. He made haste back to his tree, carefully climbing his rickety-pickety ladder to the rope bridge, hoping and hoping the egg would survive. For 14 vigilant troll dawns, Finra kept his hat on his head. He slept upright as best he could, so his hat incubator would stay in place, snugly cosseting the precious contents. Occasionally he would roll his head on his shoulders, gently, to turn the egg as a mother bird would in the nest, and when his head itched, he did not scratch. And then, as Finra was walking in the woods one fine morning, he felt a slight movement under his hat. He stood stock still, holding his breath, waiting. Could it be? Yes. There it was again. Without doubt, the egg was twitching slightly. Its smooth shell was moving against his own bald crown. Finra looked around for a comfortable spot to sit down and quickly espied a risen tree root covered in fallen pine needles. He lowered himself down, keeping his back and his head poker straight, and cautiously removed the soft floppy hat for the first time in 2 weeks, carefully rolling the egg into it. A delightful rush of cool air freshened his head, and holding the hat in both hands, he peered in. There was the egg, nestled cosily, with a definite fine hairline crack beginning to show. "Yo, yo!" Finra exclaimed in joy. "My baby, tweet or gomni, my little old egg is brokest." The new father-to-be looked around him excitedly, hoping he could share his news with other forest trolls, but he was quite alone. A scratching sound was to be heard, delicate but insistent. Finra stared wide-eyed into the depths of his hat. "Comely, comely, my baby," he encouraged, urging the tiny beak to peck and the little toes to scrape. The crack became a chink. As Finra watched, a flimsy white tissue layer was revealed, and he could see fidgety movement underneath it. His heart began to pound, a brand new life here in his hands. And Lucinia becomes his little friend, and they have a very exciting time.